Hi, everybody, and welcome back to another chapter of Sri Nisargadatta Maharaj's I Am That. And today we will be looking at chapter 24, which is entitled, God is the All-Doer, the Jnani, a Non-Doer. What is a Jnani? A Jnani is a self-realized being like Nisargadatta Maharaj. So the questioner has quite an interesting but long opening question. So I will actually skip past it. Maharaj says, all you say is right for the outgoing path. For the path of return, knotting oneself is necessary. My stand I take where nothing is. Words do not reach there, nor thoughts. To the mind, it is all darkness and silence. Then consciousness begins to stir and wakes up the mind, which projects the world built of memory and imagination. Once the world comes into being, all you say may be so. It is in the nature of the mind to imagine goals, to strive towards them, to seek out means and ways, to display vision, energy, and courage. These are divine attributes, and I do not deny them. But I take my stand where no difference exists, where things are not, nor the minds that create them. There I am at home. Whatever happens does not affect me. Things act on things, that is all. Free from memory and expectation, I am fresh, innocent, and wholehearted. Mind is the great worker, and it needs rest. Needing nothing, I am unafraid. Whom to be afraid of? There is no separation. We are not separate selves. There is only one self, the absolute supreme reality, in which the personal and the impersonal are one. The personal and the impersonal are one. All I want is to be able to help the world. Who says you cannot help? You made up your mind about what help means and needs and got yourself into a conflict between what you should and what you can, between necessity and ability. But why do we do so? Your mind projects a structure, and you identify yourself with it. It is in the nature of desire to prompt the mind to create a world for its fulfillment. Even a small desire can start a long line of action. What about a strong desire? Desire can produce a universe. Its powers are miraculous. Just as a small matchstick can set a huge forest fire, so does a desire light the fires of manifestation. The very purpose of creation is the fulfillment of desire. The desire may be noble or ignoble. Space is neutral. One can fill it with what one likes. You must be very careful as to what you desire. And as to the people you want to help, they are in their respective worlds for the sake of their desires. There is no way of helping them except through their desires. You can only teach them to have the right desires, so that they may rise above them and be free from the urge to create and recreate worlds of desires, abodes of pain and pleasure. A day must come when the show is wound up. A man must die, a universe come to an end. Just as a sleeping man forgets all and wakes up for another day, or he dies and emerges into another life, so do the worlds of desire and fear dissolve and disappear. But the universal witness, the supreme self, never sleeps and never dies. Eternally, the great heart beats, and at each beat, a new universe comes into being. A great pulsation, a great pulsation, a new universe, fresh in every moment. Is he conscious? He is beyond all that the mind conceives. He is beyond being and not being. He is the yes and no to everything, beyond and within, creating and destroying, unimaginably real. God and the Mahatma, the great soul, are they one or two? They are one. There must be some difference. God is the all-doer. The Jnani is a non-doer. God himself does not say, I am doing all. To him, things happen by their own nature. To the Jnani, all is done by God. He sees no difference between God and nature. Both God and the Jnani know themselves to be the immovable center of the movable, the eternal witness of the transient. The center is a point of void, and the witness a point of pure awareness. They know themselves to be as nothing. Therefore, nothing can resist them. How does this look and feel in your personal experience? Being nothing, I am all. Everything is me. Everything is mine. Just as my body moves by my mere thinking of the movement, so do things happen as I think of them. Mind you, I do nothing. I just see them happen. Do things happen as you want them to happen? Or do you want them to happen as they happen? Both. I accept and am accepted. I am all and all is me. Being the world, I am not afraid of the world. Being all, what am I to be afraid of? Water is not afraid of water. Fire is not afraid of fire. Also, I am not afraid because I am nothing that can experience fear or can be in danger. I have no shape nor name. It is attachment to a name and shape that breeds fear. I am not attached. I am nothing, and nothing is afraid of no thing. On the contrary, everything is afraid of the nothing. For when a thing touches nothing, it becomes nothing. It is like a bottomless well. Whatever falls into it disappears. Isn't God a person? As long as you think yourself to be a person, he too is a person. When you are all, you see him as all. When you are all, you see him as all. One times zero is zero. 2 times 0 is 0. 3 times 0 is 0. When anything touches nothing, it becomes nothing. It is like a bottomless well. Whatever falls into it disappears. This also reminds me of a quote which I think Stephen Levine said years ago. He said, "All states of mind dissolve in love." Have you ever noticed that if you're angry or afraid or sad, that when you experience that real, pure, unconditional love, everything dissolves in that love? The angry mind, it can't remain angry. It just starts to dissipate and melt in the presence of that unconditional love, that unconditional acceptance of what is. There's no longer that conflict. So everything just simply rests and disappears. So many wonderful things in this chapter. What is your personal experience? Whenever I have met a self-realized being, I have always wondered, what is it like for them? What is their actual direct personal experience? Nisargadatta says, being nothing, I am all. Everything is me, everything is mine. Just as my body moves by my mere thinking of the movement, so do things happen as I think of them. Mind you, I do nothing. I just see them happen. I remember Adyashanti saying that in a way we have to become or realize that we are nothing before we can realize we are everything. The ego, spiritual ego, would love to say, yes, I am everything. Look how great I am. But it's really the emptying, the seeing the nothingness, the emptiness, the formlessness. It's only then when we no longer feel that personal self, no longer identify with the pseudo self, the conceptual self, the imagined self. It's in that emptiness when all those boundaries, let's say, drop away and dissolve, that we then feel an intimacy with the 10,000 things. An intimacy with the 10,000 things. No more I, no more other. No more self, subject, no more object. And then what is left is just the perceiving itself, the awareness, the absolute. Nisargadatta says, God does everything. And God is just like nature. And yet God sees that everything is just happening based on its nature. The body is what the body is. The world, the physical world, is what it is, and it manifests as it has been created to do. And the Jnani, as the pure witness, just simply watches, is aware of the unfoldment of consciousness, this ever expanding, growing, vast consciousness. God is the all-doer. The Jnani is a non-doer. God is the doer. But God himself does not say, I am doing all. To him, things happen by their own nature. To the Jnani, all is done by God. He sees no difference between God and nature. Both God and Jnani know themselves to be the immovable center of the movable, like the center of the wheel. The wheel is turning and moving, and yet at the center there's no movement. The eternal witness of the transient. The center is a point of the void, and the witness, a point of pure awareness. They know themselves to be as nothing, therefore nothing can resist them. Water is not afraid of water. Fire is not afraid of fire. Nothing is not afraid of nothing. I have no shape nor name. It is the attachment to a name and shape that breeds fear. I am not attached. I am nothing, and nothing is afraid of nothing. It is like a bottomless well. Whatever falls into it disappears. Somebody asked Nisargadatta one time to summarize his teachings, and he simply said, nothing is. Nothing is. Nothing is. Nothing is. Nothing is. Thank you, Nisargadatta Maharaj. Thank you, Pada Brahman. Thank you, everybody, for joining me once again for another chapter of Sri Nisargadatta Maharaj's I Am That. See you next time for chapter 25. Namaste.